Raghavendra, so what are the goods and services that will be outside the purview of GST?
As of now, alcohol and petroleum are outside the scope of goods and service tax. So far, the tax regime provided various types of exemptions on various goods based on public utilities, based on benefit to the public at large. I presume that the same benefits will also be provided under the goods and service tax regime. As of now, it is uncertain, but I hope the same benefits and exemptions will be provided even under the goods and service tax.
So are the injections that the industry that is enjoying today, so that industries will still continue?
So any exemption provided has a basis to it, and any exemption provided has a social obligation on the part of the government to enhance development of the nation. So if development of nation being the criterion, I presume that the same exemption shall also be extended in the GST regime.
Thank you. Mr. Sridhar, so what will be the compliance framework under GST?
Compliance under the new GST regime, definitely compliance will have to be increased actually, because each state, to get the input credit benefit, the manufacturer or seller has to register with each state. So naturally, one side of the coin, compliance will increase. But I think in the earlier, Raghavendra also told actually, I'm just adding it to that actually, where at present we have three different taxes: central excise, service tax, and a VAT. So that all three put together may make it one single taxation, GST. So definitely the three different government department coming for the audit, submitting the documents, submitting the returns will go away. So we'll have only one GST returns, one GST registrations. So definitely, if you say one side of the way, it'll improve the compliance actually. It'll reduce the compliances.
So do you see job opportunities with the implementation?
Definitely, it will improve the job opportunity. One is a lot of people will be encouraged to do the GST, understand the GST, so that help them as the manufacturer and other service industry to comply the GST regimes. Secondly, where the ease of doing the business is helpful, so a lot of manufacturers will come away, a lot of MNCs will come out to the India because it's a simplification of the taxation. So it will improve the job opportunity in India.
In the current regime, if you are paying a state levied tax, a VAT, so you are bound to file a VAT return. And if you are actually paying a central excise duty, you will file a central excise return. You are paying service tax, you file a service tax return. There are multiple returns in the current tax regime of indirect taxes which are levied by central and state government, having their own compliances which I need to comply with. So there are multiple returns and multiple audits and multiple departments trying to communicate with the business. Going forward, when we unify all these taxes into one single tax regime, so there will be one return and one compliance which we need to do, and there will be one department trying to communicate with us for that particular activity. So this will bring down the burden of multiple communications and multiple compliances into one simplified singular compliance, which will be to the benefit of the business. And earlier, most of the compliances were manual. So everybody maintained documents on their own, and there were exchange of invoices, and there were audits to ensure in terms of completeness, in terms of accuracy. So all this activity will be reduced to a greater extent, considering that the GSTN framework requires everything to be done online, and all the invoices, the credits, everything will be verified online, will simplify the manual processes, which will lead way to a much easier way of doing business, where the department will not come back asking for clarifications or seeking further details, because all the information is available at one place at one shot to the department. As well as for the business, it is much easier, and it brings in better transparency to show what is the credits availed or invoice raised or any taxation related aspects will be complied online. So it's available to both. So this greater transparency and reduced number of taxes to one single tax and one single compliance will definitely ease the way of doing business.
So what you're basically saying is the transaction cost of doing business is going to come down significantly.
Yeah, because adding to that, you will have only one taxes. So earlier I'm managing the three different tax departments, so I'll have more transaction cost. So definitely by implementing the GST, you'll have only one single taxation. So you will.
The GST also paves way for a single professional. Today, if I go and seek a professional advice, I have a VAT consultant who is an expert in VAT. I have a central excise consultant, expert in central excise. So there are various branch of indirect taxes, and we need to seek different professionals and different guidance advice. Going forward in GST, it provides for one particular consulting, that is one particular tax, and also will reduce in terms of compliance burden, approach, appeal, and there'll be one particular point of contact for all, for both business as well as the government department.
So the theme of the entire GST is actually greater transparency, lesser transaction cost.
Correct.
It also means people, there will be lesser leakages of taxes in the system, and more on compliance.
Correct.
Although compliance might increase, but there will be reduced ambiguity in terms of what we need to pay.
So I see that entire India is moving from a manual to a digital compliance world. So we are shifting, it's a great shift from a manual compliance to one system driven, IT system driven compliance, to a digital world wherein there will be better transparency, as Rajesh pointed out, lesser transaction costs, and lesser role of government departments in terms of availing approvals, because most of it will come online. So instead of manual applications, etc., most of the government communication, etc., will happen online, whether it can be filing return or getting notices. If we look at the latest changes, even in Income Tax Act, where they said any communication now, even through an email, will be considered to be a communication. So in those terms, it will become more efficient and less involvement of people and more of process driven. So it's a good shift.